tell the story of Tom Moody as coach through a series of pictures, and inevitably, I mean, we're largely in India, Tom, so we'll start with the team that you're most closely identified with, and that, of course, is the Sunrisers. You coached them, 7 years?
Yeah.
I imagine you, and I don't imagine a baggy green. I don't imagine the yellow and the green and gold. I imagine the orange of the Sunrisers. What was it like building that franchise? You're a coach that's coming in, a franchise that in another avatar has won an IPL, but is really in turmoil. How do you start building a franchise?
Yeah, look, it was a fascinating opportunity, which came about really through a phone call from Muttiah Muralitharan. I was in South Africa at the time. He called me out the blue and said, look, would you be interested in getting back involved in coaching? And, you know, at first I was a little bit hesitant, but then when I thought through it, the adrenaline started to rush and I thought, well, this is where I belong. I'm passionate about coaching. So to pick up the list that Deccan Chargers had left after trading Rohit Sharma to Mumbai Indians, and there was all sorts of things happening behind the scenes, as you well know. In a way, was probably not a bad thing in the sense that it enabled me to start from scratch. I didn't have an established side. I didn't have any major superstars, even though we had Shikhar Dhawan, but Shikhar was at that stage just starting to flex his muscles, on the international stage. He certainly wasn't established as he is now. So you start by building, firstly, the personnel around the domestic personnel. And that's the hardest thing. International players, there's many options that you can turn to. But, the key, I believe, one of the keys to a successful IPL franchise is the depth of quality of your domestic players. And that's improved dramatically over the years in India, because I think the IPL has been a wonderful platform for players to develop their game. But that was primarily the target for the first 3 years, is to develop those players, identify those domestic players, and then identify a brand of cricket that we wanted to play that was suited to the home ground in Hyderabad. So how do we believe that we can win more than lose at home, and also be robust enough on the road to be able to have the options to be effective away from home in different conditions.
What do mentors do? You had a Murali, you had Laxman, both at heart decent human beings, soft-spoken, modest, but what is their role? There's this strange new creature in the world of cricket called a mentor. So how did the three of you work together?
Very well, because we were very good friends, firstly. We had huge respect for each other, and we all brought different things. From a coaching perspective, I'm forever grateful to both of those guys, because they trusted me as coach. They trusted my judgment. They would give me information through their incredible experience, and whether I took that information or advice and followed through with it or not, there was never a second question of it. So we were very close with regards to how we understood each other, and very different. Like Laxman, for instance, as we know, he's such a gentleman, such a beautiful man. But he's so highly regarded, and quite rightly so. So his impact on the Indian players was profound. They would listen to every single word that Laxman would mutter. And he also found himself playing an important role, whether he asked for it or not, with the overseas players, because they saw him as a real source of information. They clearly admired him as one of India's greats, and they wanted to learn from him. So he became a very important person with regards to that. Murali, he's like the fire starter. He is full of energy, as you know, he's got incredible insight of the game, incredible passion for the game, and you know, he just adds so much energy and creates that positive environment, and he's quite happy to be the center of the laugh, which fascinated a lot of the young players. They thought, my God, you know, how can, this is Muttiah Muralitharan, but he's happy to be the one that's wearing the chocolate cake on the face, or whatever the case might be.